When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever.
Sick with the talk, passing your receiver.
All about running the spot.
And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather.
Cardio kingpin.
Subjugate the dub play.
And you know we can't wait to bring spins.
A-star quizzes, A+ the final.
Vocals we align, we'll move it all
simultaneously over joints we ride. We earn 30 years so you can say we got.
Appreciate you, Coach. Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go. 10-2 stop. Mike 54. There it comes.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Second and 13. He's got Smith here. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. On second down, it's Coleman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
It's 3rd down and 5.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Coleman. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run now with Dillon. Looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 30-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
That's what I do. Let's go.
Fighting him off. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. On 3rd down, it's Coleman. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Watch twins. Watch twins.
General West. Hey, Delta.
Check right 33. Check right 33. Let's go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this is going to be incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 23.
Tighten up. Tighten up.
Good.
Check 52. Sponge.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
On 2nd down now. It's Carson, and he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
315. 14. Got it.
Here's the party now. Check it back.
On 2nd down, it's Carson, and he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. A little bit of daylight on that 1st down run sets them up nicely. 8 yards on the carry, 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Clear. Hey, alert.
Switch it. On your team. 22.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. On 3rd down, Swift. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1.
Hey, 0. Good. Hey, 0-0-0.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down.
Go.
They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Pilot, 64, weak. Now.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Shaquem Griffin, he was relentless there as he hits home for the sack. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. On play action, they'll throw. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down of this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Mike 590.
Mike 54.
Go 14. Check.
Switch.
Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. Wilson throwing quickly out to Lockett. Tyler Lockett, and all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Extra point up and through by Myers. And it's now a 7-0 game.
Vikings nothing. Michael Dixon set to kickoff.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Oh, able to avoid him. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34.
At their own 34-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
Early in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Squeeze.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. His throw incomplete. It was Trey Flowers that time who got a hand in and broke it up. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand. And
this time for Smith, and it's intercepted. It's the former Patriot Devin McCourty, and the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
Slow down. Let's go double count right here. Double count. Let's go.
After the interception, here's Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
But there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
54's Mike. 25.
Throwing again on second down. Wilson, he'll find Metcalf. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
380. Back.
Wilson now to throw on third down. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game.
Check 24. Check 23. Hey, alert. Short. Get that ball. Hey, check Mike 50. Mike is a 50. Check Mike 50.
Throwing again here. Wilson flushed out right. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks, they're able to stretch that lead out a bit further. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31 and to the 40-yard line. That's where the return stops.
His guys take over 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
Go. He's coming to you. He's coming to you. Motion. Hey.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
Check. Watch the safety creep. Shoot. 49. Check 49.
On second down now. It's Carson trying to run inside, but nothing there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Hey, 0. Hey, 0. Hey, 0.
No. SOS. Hey. SOS. Showing it. That's. Shit. Watch the shit.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
I'll go special.
50's the mark. Check pass.
Left hash.
He's coming, double up. Kill.
Good job right there.
Choke.
On first down, Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn to either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage with a flag down here to boot. So they may back up further. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Slow down.
Watch the run.
Move the team.
Mike 55. Check. Mike 55.
Again, Wilson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now. That's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw again is Wilson. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hughes. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here, 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got? Hey, Sam off. Here we go.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now back to throw. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
Intended for Adam Thielen. Incomplete. Sets up 4th down.
And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. They'll throw now on the final play. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0 as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the inning, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one.
It got his man complete. And he finally goes out of bounds across the opposite 40. It's a big play there for Seattle. 41 yards. So here, the men in charge are going to be looking at whether or not the receiver had possession of the ball as he went out of bounds.
And they have to make sure that the receiver got both feet down in bounds as well.
Right at the line of scrimmage.
Quick, 380. 12. Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, D. Man up, D. I'll go special. That's it. Go. 25. Shoot. Check 43.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson looking for his running back, and he's got it.
You ain't doing nothing today.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 14 on that one and a 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football.
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Alert.
Here's Carson. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Good.
On third down, Wilson. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Try to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. So I remember playing in these spots, and my coach was always saying, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
Again, it's Cook. And an alley to run. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. 27 yards there, a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Watch out. Check 99.
On second down, it's Coleman. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So third and long. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Back to throw. He'll buy some time right. Lets it fly for Thielen. And it's incomplete. Both players had a shot at that one. Neither can get it, and it brings up fourth down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Now it's Lockett. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
That one, 28 yards on the ground. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Watch safety creep. Safety's creeping.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Being chased out left. And he's going to keep it here. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Alert.
Wilson. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Bang, 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 bang. He's crashing. He's checking crashing.
This is Carson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. They run again with Carson. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Chris Carson, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And able to take it past the 20 a little bit, but no further. Flag in there as well. Let's see what this is.
Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
They're running it.
They'll run the option right here on 1st down. And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. 2nd and 14. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Irv Smith Jr., his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, three things can happen, and two of them are bad.
Is that Woody
he would have
Hayes?
kept it on the ground.
And they're not going to get to the line to run. Another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. Charles, you said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
They'll run on first down. Carson. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Yeah, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
On 2nd down now. It's Carson, and he's got room. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Chris Carson with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Myers connects on the PAT, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They'll look to throw. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
The Vikings on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the gun, it's a handoff to Coleman, and he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. 4th down now after a loss of 2. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything, change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And now the football's going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line.
Gotta go, in and out. Let's go. Long day. Let's go. Hop up. Check the backer. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Took right. Slam. Run left, up right.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's the bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. Under 10. Four down.
On third down, Wilson steps away to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3. But this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Watch the screen.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
On third down, Coleman. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. A rough go there on third down, a loss of 4.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Watch the twitch. Switch.
They run it with Carson. And And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory.
Check 13. Check 13.
Got it. Well enough. Me. I got this.
Now Wilson on first down. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And now it's second down.
Mike 54. Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day offense. Go.
Hey, one set.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. They come out here in the eye.
Mike 54. I'm about to take you. Gun.
15. Check 15.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a third time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
They'll keep it on the ground. Carson, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Check 31.
On second down, Cook. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
I'm coming after you.
Hey, Charlie.
Mike 27, Mike 27, Mike 27.
Ready?
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
An 8-yard loss brings up fourth down.
Ready? 18, Gator. 27.
Here we go. Jim.
So the victory here for Seattle, and they were buoyed, Charlie.